Welcome back to another video. It's Bradford v Grimsby match preview. Let me know your score predictions and thoughts going into a game in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts on the 1 o'clock kickoff as well. I'm not keen on it. I'm not a big fan of the 1 o'clock kickoff. I'd much rather kick off at 3 o'clock. However, the good thing with the 1 o'clock kickoff is if you do win, which we failed to do last time we had one, Hartlepool, we drew that one. It puts pressure on the teams around you when they're kicking off at 3. There's some big games as well kicking off on Friday night, tonight. I think it's Stockport v Salford. Carlisle are playing Leyton Orient and Northampton are playing Stevenage. So there's some massive games around us and we've got to take advantage of having a Grimsby. No offence to them, but the 15th in the table with 48 points. They haven't lost since the 3rd of March, 2-0 defeat to Carlisle. They're on a decent one. They've drawn the last 3. They do like a 1-1 draw, but we have to be taking advantage of the teams that aren't pushing for the playoffs and darting the relegation battle. You know, I wouldn't say they're on the beach. I think that probably would be unfair to say that, but they're going to bring a lot of fans. They're going to make it tough. We know what teams do when they come to Valley Parade. The reverse fixture was a tough game for us. We failed to break them down. I think it was a 1-1 draw. So we've got to be beating these type of teams if we want to be going up, and if we don't, then that's why we won't get in the automatics, and I don't think we will come in the automatics. I think we are going to have to rely on the playoffs, unfortunately. Let me know where you think will come in the comments down below, but I think in the playoffs, I don't think we'll go up, and I think we have to rely on the playoffs because the last few results, those 4 draws in a row, are going to cost us top 3 because teams have been slipping up a slight bit around us. And when you look at Carlisle's fixtures and Stevenage as well, they've had a bit of a wobble recently. We had to take advantage of it. A draw to Carlisle's a pretty good result, but then the other 3 draws against teams that are either down at the bottom of the table or a mid-table like Grimsby are, you've got to be beating these teams, and I think we've got to go for it from now to the end of the season. I don't think settling for points are going to get us anywhere apart from the playoffs, and even then you've got teams behind us who would be willing to take advantage of that. But we're playing against the Grimsby side as well, but did do very well in the FA Cup. I think they got knocked out of the quarterfinals 5-0 to Brighton. They beat Luton in that one, which got put under the radar really. It was a brilliant result, and an even better result than Wrexham drawing and then losing to Sheffield United, which got loads of praise and got loads of publicity through mainstream and all over. Fairy tale story that is, apparently. Not Grimsby beating Luton 3-0 in a replay when they've got a way smaller budget than Wrexham. But anyway, you know what it's like with Wrexham. Everyone's got to say it's a fairy tale when it completely isn't. Although I do wish them well, because if we had that money and if we had owners that were like that with the fans, I'd love that. But in terms of the ownership, just to briefly touch on it, I'm not against it. I think they're doing a pretty decent job. However, if we don't go up, it's a failure of a season. I wouldn't sack Mark Hughes. I've just drifted into something that I didn't want to. Anyway, they beat Plymouth as well on that one in the first round, which again is another fantastic result. They beat Burton and they beat Southampton as well. I think that was under Nathan Jones, but I'm not too sure. We've struggled against teams above us and below us, and we've got to take advantage of Grimsby. Away from home in 2023, we have the best record, tied with Burnley, Brighton and Luton for being unbeaten in away games. However, this is a home game and we are terrible at home. 12th in the home form table, 29 points, 19 games played, but we have only lost twice at home in 2023. 9 games played, 3 draws, at 4 wins and 2 defeats. Those 2 defeats being to Barrow and Rochdale, I'm pretty sure. 2 teams that we really should have won, and 2 teams who give us a tough game in terms of breaking them down. But we've got to be winning this. We have drawn a few at home recently, but our unbeaten one's pretty decent. 7 games unbeaten. I think we've lost 2 in 17 or 18. Very good one, and we need to sustain it, but we need to get a few more wins on the board to keep that pressure on the teams above us. However, Grimsby are very good away from home. They're 8th in the away table with 27 points from 19. Like I said, they're gonna be hard to break down. They're gonna be hard to beat. They're gonna bring a load of fans, but we have to beat them. So that's enough of that. On to the results. We've drawn 0-0 against Carlisle. We drew 1-1 against Hartlepool. We drew 1-1 against Newport. We drew 0-0 against Walsall, and we beat Colchester 2-0 with 2 goals in the 90-plus minute. We haven't been convincing recently. The wins haven't been there to show for it either, and there's been a real lack of goals. And I think, like I said, we need to get those shackles off and get attacking and get Valley Parade rocking. In their last 5, they've just come off the back of a 1-1 draw to Crawley, a 1-1 draw to Walsall, a 0-0 draw to Mansfield, they lost 5-0 in the FA Cup to Brighton, a 1-0 win against Sutton, and a 1-0 win against Rochdale. It's absolutely chucking it down. Sorry if you can hear it. We'll brush over it. So yeah, they're draw specialists. We're draw specialists. I'll give you my quick prediction. In my head, I'm going 1-1. In my heart, I'm going 2-0. And they always say follow your heart. So I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for City. Into their key players. John McAtee, 16 goals last season for them. I think he's got 4 this season. Hasn't been too great for them, although he's been decent. He hasn't really progressed as much as Apollo would have wanted him to after a fantastic season in the National League from last season, but he's still a very good player on his day. Harry Clifton, 7 goals and 1 assist this season. Again, I think he scored in the last game against Crawley. Very decent player. I think he came through their youth academy as well. Past and present, Andy Cook, I think he used to play for them, I'm pretty sure. Scannell obviously played for us, injury hit. Career recently, I think he's only played 1 game for Grimsby, if that, this season. And James Hansen. They've had many others as well. Billy Clark, Luke Hendry. I don't think Leave Novak played for them, did he? They've had quite a few anyway. And yeah, James Hansen, Bradford City legend, probably. But my team, 4-2-3-1. Harry Lewis in goal. Brad Allardyne right back. I think he's got the most assists for us this season. He's a very decent player. Very average, but very... Sometimes average can go under the radar, but I think he's a very decent player for us on his day. Had a couple of bad performances, but when you're average, you have good games, you have bad games. And when you consider last season, Luke Hendry, like I mentioned, and Oscar Frelkeld, you know, you do take advantage of having a Brad Allardyne, who is a very decent player and barely has a bad game. Platt and Stubbs at the back. Platt, a lot of fans calling for him to be dropped. Distribution of ball has been really poor recently, but I think as a defender and in the running you have to have a consistent back line. Although I do say release the Shackles, I think we do need to, but back line has to remain the same really. Although I'm going to change one position because he's been dreadful. But Platt and Stubbs for me, they've got a good partnership forming. I won't break it up. But I play Critchlow in left back, a bit of that Nathan Ake role at Man City. He shouldn't be overlapping. I think he got a bit excited when coming on in the last game against Carlisle. Went past the winger too much, got too many crosses into a box, and I think he was too eager to impress. I think if he just has a solid performance in left back, he's got that recovery pace. Don't tell him to cross the ball a lot. Don't tell him to overlap. Just spread the ball about a bit. Come out of defence and don't get carried away with yourself. And you know, stay solid defensively. Midfield, we've got no Adam Clayton. It's going to be a massive miss. So who do you replace him with? It'd be unfair to drop Gilead. Smallwood has been decent recently, but at home we all know that you've got to be playing a player like Ryan. He's someone who wants to get on the ball, drops deep for it, progresses the ball forward, good passer of the ball, and he ain't too bad in a tackle either. So at East, definite starter. But if he's partnered with Smallwood and Gilead, I'm still not quite sure. Gilead gives you great energy, good balance in the midfield. Don't get goal contributions, but does a lot off the ball. Whereas Smallwood has started to get more contributions to his play. Probably would protect East better if East did go forward a bit more than Smallwood. So I probably would go Smallwood just for that bit of protection. But it's a real tough one, and I don't really want to be dropping Gilead because being a fan of him recently, and I think he's really stepped up when we've needed him to. Banks on the right flank, he's inconsistent, but he's got that bit of magic, he's got that bit of flair. He takes the player on with Walker and Pereira. I would start Walker, obviously he's had his fitness problems this season, but again, he's a flair player, someone who can get you off your seat and someone who can create chances. Many of them front three can't. And Pereira, I think at home you've got to go for it. Carlisle, Chapman were good because he was very solid defensively and track back. Pereira won't do that as much. But again, we need to just release the shackles. We need to go for him a bit, and we need someone who can produce a bit of magic, someone who can take someone on, just break someone down, someone who's just got that bit of just magic, and that's what we need, because it's something we've lacked all season. So I would start Pereira, also for the nostalgia, and then Andy Cook up front, again, playing against one of his former clubs. Hopefully he can get on the score sheet again, and hopefully we can actually get some service to him and stop him feeding off scraps, because he's literally had nothing all season, and somehow he's managed to be scoring 20 plus goals this season. But that's my team, that's my score prediction. 2-0, I'm going in with my heart. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Let me know your thoughts going into a game. Have a good one.